Your days, you're going to track your days away, and you're going to track your restricted transfer activity. You're going to count only up to 180 days. And the reason for that is, though, that OSHA in the past is, you can have somebody that was out of work for 2 or 3 years. Every 30 days you have to go back in there and re-add up that column, and it doesn't make sense. If someone misses 180 days, that's a pretty severe case. That's all they want to know. How severe was it? If they miss 180, that's good. And that's total, by the way. So let's say that somebody was injured, they're out of work for 60 days, they come back on restricted activity, they spend 185 days on restricted activity. How many days would you put in each column? The days away, you would put 60 days, right? And then you had 85, so I would subtract off 65, right? Because then I'm only going to put 120 days in that situation in that next block. I'm not going to put the whole 185 that they were restricted activity. I only need to make sure that it adds up to 180 days between those two columns. Okay? Now the other thing is that's calendar days. In years past, before this form came out, OSHA was allowing work days. Well, that made sense, You get injured on a Friday and the doctor gives you a couple days off. Saturday and Sunday, you're back to work on Monday. You didn't miss any days. So that really worked out, because when you count the days, you don't count the day of the injury nor the day they came back. So I, for instance, could come to work this morning, got injured at 8:05. I'm out the rest of the day. I go to the doctor on Monday. Tomorrow rather. I see the doctor tomorrow. And let's see, I see the doctor tomorrow, and the doctor, say like 4 o'clock, I come back to work at 4:30, so I only get a half an hour work in. I don't count either one of those days because I came back to work tomorrow and I left work today. So that time doesn't count, so it's everything in between there, okay? Now the difference is in years past was that work-related part. Well, OSHA found that there was a lot of people with rotating shifts. So what would happen is that somebody would get injured, and then magically they'd be off for the next 2 weeks. They wouldn't be on the schedule for 2 weeks, so they weren't work-related. So they wouldn't count that time. So OSHA said, nope, we're not doing that. Now it's just calendar days. So you say you get hurt on Friday, the doctor gives you 2 days off, it's recordable for those 2 days, even though you come back on Monday and didn't miss any work, okay? So that's the difference there. All right, and then the last part over here, we're actually tracking what type of an injury it was. So if you look at the form that you have in front of you, it's probably a little easier to read. But you have injury, skin disorder, respiratory illness, poisoning, hearing loss, and then the last one says other illnesses. So that picking up the pencil, if I decided that was an illness, I'd mark that in the last column over. If it was an injury, in the first column, and different things like that. So, kind of go through. I'm making this a little simplistic, but if you have some extraordinary things that happen, you might want to go in there and kind of take a look. And if you're not sure, give me a call and we'll kind of work through it together and figure out the best way to mark some of this stuff out. Same thing here, it's a 300A. If you guys go out there, you can pull this stuff off the OSHA website. It's a PDF format or it's an Excel format. It will automatically add up your numbers across the bottom here, and it will automatically populate 300A here, okay? So it'll populate this area for you. You have to put in all the establishment information, okay? The NAICS code, the SIC code, the total number of employees, the total number of hours, those particular things. And then the other thing is that the major change that they made when they went to this form was that in years past, they would have the executives, I didn't realize we had our injury rate was quite that bad. So now they want executives to sign off on the form once a year. And then this is going to be posted for the 3 months. So from the 1st of February to April 30th, this is going to be posted, okay? So you don't put, do you guys remember the old 200? You put everybody's information on there, you folded it behind there, and then that's what you would post. Well, how many bright ideas did you see where guys were actually unpinning that to see who had the injuries, right? So this is a way of keeping that privacy a little bit more private so that that information doesn't even get posted. It's just the total number of injuries that you've had, total number of days missed, total number of days transferred or restricted activity.